What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And this broadcast, we continue our Sunday simulation series here, where we're trying to turn the Texas Rangers into the World Series champions. So, as we get into the calendar here, we're now beginning the spring training season for 2024. So, as we take a look at the roster really quickly here, our pitching staff. We've made a couple of changes to the bullpen this in the off-season pass in the prior episode, and we also made some changes in our lineup. So hopefully these changes can really start to manifest some good stuff for us as we try to head not just to the World Series, but be able to win it. So we definitely want to try to make that happen. So we have a couple of players that are going to be eligible for some extension talk. We're going to get more into that probably in the middle of the season. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to fast forward through spring training here and head on to the regular season. And we're going to advance. So we're going to go ahead and sim through the first couple of days. And we have our scouting set to auto. So what we're actually going to do now is we're going to simulate to draft day. And we'll then take a look. So Danny Duffy. All right. So he's going to be out for 1 to 2 months. So that's going to be kind of problematic for us, but definitely gonna take a look. So let's look at our roster now. For a pitcher short in the rotation, so we're gonna slide these guys up. We're gonna move Odorizzi in, and we're gonna see how that goes. We may end up bringing up one of these starters from the minor leagues. May end up seeing who's available on the trade markets and maybe go that route, but I want to kind of let the season progress a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward to keep him. He's still hurt. So the Tigers have acquired Felix Bautista from the Orioles. It's a pretty big move, pretty big trade. All right, so we're going to take a quick pause here, and we're going to look at our roster, kind of see where things are shaking up. So we're 2.5 games back in the division, currently in 3rd place. So we're not too far out of the running. So got some cold starters right now, but the overall numbers are pretty good for our starting rotation. Got a couple of guys in the bullpen, a few guys in the bullpen that need some work. Need to get it together. So we'll see how things kind of shake out from there. Let's take a look at the lineup. So some okay production from some parts in the lineup. Some that need some work to be able to really start putting us in a much better position. Definitely need some help on the bench. That's going to be a bit rough. All right, so let's continue on. We're going to find ourselves in the negative right now. So we're definitely going to have to make a move at some point very soon. But we'll see about adding in a couple of guys in the minor leagues that might be making a little bit more and not really doing much for us. So Danny Duffy is back, and we're gonna make sure plug him right back into the lineup, to the starting rotation. All right, so let's get through end of June. So let's take a look now and see kind of where things are. Transactions. All right. So the Astros acquired Max Scherzer. The Pirates got Lance Lynn. Cardinals got Zach Plesac. So some moves have been going down in the trade market. We're a game up in the division, which means things are kind of getting better. Harrison Bader's still struggling a bit. I'm going to have to move him out of the top spot in the lineup. So definitely going to have to make a move there. Now the problem is that obviously if you have too many guys that aren't hitting well at the bottom of the lineup, it can really cause more problems for your team than by having them hitting at the top right in front of some players that are doing well. So we'll have to see how things kind of shake out. We're definitely going to have to take a look and see about adding some more pitching. We need some help in the bullpen. A couple of guys with ERAs over 4, over 5 here. And we can get back end of the rotation help maybe. Let's take a look and see who's on the trade block. So Danny Duffy's always on the block. Let's see. So I think a lot of the time the guys that are on the block, yeah, Berrios has just too much money on the books. Now Spencer Turnbull, this could be an interesting guy to go after. Scott Barlow's another one that would be interesting. Now again, remember we also have some financial situations that we're going to have to kind of clear up and alleviate to be able to make any sort of deals. Now I'm thinking we're going to take a look at this and see if we don't not bad. Let's see, are there any arms that we have in the minors that are making more than they should be? So okay, so we need to bring up Jose Leclerc for sure, because he's having a tremendous season. Yeah, there's not really a lot of money sitting on the books in the minor leagues that I'd really be able or be willing to give up. Yeah. So not really. It's just that they have some seriously large contracts that we have on the books. So that's going to be the problem for trying to acquire any help. But with that being said, we have a guy in the minor leagues right now that is dealing, so we're going to bring him up. And we have a guy that's struggling, so we're going to send him down. So it's kind of how it works. Plain and simple. All right. So we're going to do that for now, and we're going to reevaluate in a couple of weeks. Bubba Thompson, of course. All right. So we need to bring up a position player that is doing well. Rafael Ortega. Is he on the 40? He is not. AJ, not on the 40. Ron is on the 40, but he's been struggling as of late. Josh Smith. All right. Trying to think here. Now we did clear up the roster spot because Bubba Thompson had to get put on the 60-day IL. Because he's out for 2 to 3 months. So it does clear a roster spot. So the reality is that we could add Ortega to the mix. but I think I'm gonna add Pollock because Bader has better numbers, better stats against right-handers, so we need that lefty platoon. Although Bader's not great defensively. I mean, Pollock's not great defensively. Bader is. So Ortega's probably still our best option. So I think that's what we're going to end up going with. So let me add Ortega to the 40 and call him up. So as things stand right now, we're only half a game up. And Jankowski, 6 months. That's rough. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and skip the draft. Skip to the draft, I should say. And we're going to see who got the first overall pick. So the Kansas City Royals, and they have selected a first baseman, Anthony Burke. Now the thing is with the draft and kind of what we've done thus far is we've been allowing our scouts to manage that. So the Red Sox had the second pick, a second baseman, Steven Heller. Because when we go through the process, and we've done it on previous drafts, but this new draft system in MLB The Show 2023 is super in-depth, super detailed, and makes for a very, very difficult and long process to try to really maximize what you can get out of the draft, which is what it would be in real life. The Nationals had the third pick with a starting pitcher in Mackenzie Donaldson. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to simulate the draft. And we're going to exit here and we're going to see if we have anyone participating in the Home Run Derby, which is taking place in our own stadium. It's disappointing no one wants to participate. And let's see who is representing the Rangers at the All-Star game. So let's see. Jacob deGrom, nice. David Bednar. So a couple guys. Wilson Contreras. And it looks like that's it. Cool. So we got a few guys. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and fast forward. So the signing of the draft picks, we're going to skip and set to auto. So we're going to let our scouts handle that. And we're going to move ahead. And of course. All right. So we need another player to come up. So let's see who is the next one up. All right, might as well bring them up. Let's continue through the end of this series. All right, so we are in a tie with the Angels right now in the standings. And again, we are in a position right now where we're facing a budget situation here. And unless we're trading someone that's coming with a pretty decent price tag, we're really not going to be receiving much help. So at this point, they would have to be making a decent chunk of money in order for us to be able to get from under the situation financially that we've put ourselves in. Let's see if the Tigers. Where is Spencer Turnbull? They already make a move. Let's take a look. So Jonathan India to the Brewers. Yep. The Dodgers acquired Spencer Turnbull. All right. So we have to kind of reevaluate the market then and see. I mean, they're willing to do Casey Mize as well, so let's take a look at that. And let's see, we add in some other options here. So they're willing to make this deal straight up, but obviously with the budget situation that we find ourselves in, we're gonna have to add in some other pieces to kind of push this deal over the top financially for us. So the problem is going to be is that I don't really necessarily want to give up anyone else in this deal, but it kind of is the situation that we find ourselves in right now, because of the fact that we don't have the room financially to support such a thing. All right. So definitely need to figure out this situation. Crazy because I don't really want to give up any of these players that would put me over the top. I don't think they'll. All right, cool. Make the deal without it. So we are much less in the hole than what we previously were. We're gonna drop Mize into the rotation, and let's see. Yeah, we're gonna probably call up. Let's try calling Coleman back and see how that works out for us. And let's go ahead, move him back to the majors. All right, so we're gonna go forward another week. Cedric Mullins to the Dodgers. Alright, so we're going to activate him. And now we have to make roster move. Send Duran back to AAA. Alright. So, half a game out. The problem is that, let's see. So I don't necessarily know that there's really much more that we can do on the free agent side of things right now, just because I don't know that we can afford much of anything else right now. So we're gonna have to take a look and see. Yeah. Alright, so I think that this is the roster that we're gonna end up having to face the rest of the season with. Just because financially there's really no other option that we'd have. So all right, so that's what we're gonna go with through the rest of the season. So let's go ahead and simulate. Right. Yep, he's still injured, so we're going to leave him there. We are now at the September call-up. So typically with the September call-ups, I'll add one position player and one pitcher to the roster, usually a reliever. So we're half a game out right now. And we're going to keep him on the 60-day. All right, so Bubba Thompson is back. So we're going to go ahead and, his speed and defense are extremely valuable. Send Ortega down. Man, now we put ourselves in a hole here. 2.5 games behind the Angels. But these games here are critical, and we swept this series. That's going to be tremendous. But we lost 2 out of 3 to the Tigers. All right. So we are almost seemingly playing ourselves out of this race right now, because we're a game out of the division and only a game up in the wild cards. So it's really coming down to the wire here, really coming down to crunch time. And we lost the series to the A's. We're really putting ourselves in a tough spot now. So we definitely need to win every day. All right. And all right, so we've at least clinched a postseason spot. So we're at least in the wild card race. But if we win this game and the Astros lose, we'll take the division. Hopefully. All right. So, nope. We are the wild card. All right. So, congratulations to the Rangers. You finished the season 89-73. You have made the postseason as a wild card team and will be playing the Blue Jays in the first round of the postseason. Let's take a look. League leaders: Jacob deGrom with the WHIP leader, and Nathaniel Lowe with the doubles leader. And awards: David Bednar, Delivery Man of the Year. So, all right. We're going to advance on. Let's take a look at this playoff bracket real quick. In the National League, the Braves and the Dodgers have the top 2 seeds, and followed by the Cardinals as the 3rd division winner. Mets, Diamondbacks, and Brewers. In the American League side of things, the Guardians and the Yankees have the top 2 seeds, followed by the Astros, Toronto, Texas, and the Red Sox. All right, so yeah, we've been eliminated from the postseason. All right, we're going to have to really start taking a look at this roster in a serious way. We may end up having to the Astros defeated the Braves in the 2024 World Series. So we've gotten to the end of the season. We got to bring in a new first base coach who's decided to retire. We will have our opportunities to take a look at this roster. So Travis Jankowski torn Achilles tendon is calling it a career. Let's see who else. Corey Kluber, Chris Bassett, Max Scherzer, any other, Kyle Hendricks, Evan Longoria, Kenta Maeda, Mark Melanson, Yu Darvish. Notable names here: Elvis Andrus, Michael Brantley, Miguel Cabrera. All right, so some notable names here that are hitting the market, or retiring, I should say. So let's run through this list really quick and try and figure out what's going on with this team. All right. So Max Scherzer, Miguel Cabrera, Hall of Fame, absolutely. So here we are. We are now another season into this, and another season of disappointment when it comes to this entire situation with this team and trying to build them into a World Series winner. We're getting to the postseason, but we're being eliminated. We have not been able to clinch the division properly, being able to put ourselves in a better position. And right now, we're going to have to kind of reevaluate some things and figure out what's actually going to be working for this Rangers squad and what's not. So definitely keep it locked in. Hit the subscribe button down below and the bell for post notifications, so each and every time we drop a new broadcast, you will be notified. Make sure you're following us on all our social media channels, on Instagram and TikTok at Baseball Banter Broadcast, on Twitter at Banter_baseball, and head over to our merchandise shop, baseballbanterbroadcast.com, in which we have a ton of promo codes you can use to save on some Banter merch. And we have our corresponding website, laracuenteledger.com, in which we post new articles daily, mostly covering the world of Major League Baseball. So check it all out. Make sure you keep it locked in here by hitting that subscribe button once again. And I will catch you on the next broadcast when we continue to banter about baseball next Sunday as we try to turn the Rangers into a World Series winner. So I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.